Namaste Gurukulians. Hope all of you are healthy, fit and fine. Let's come back to our channel, the Gurukul NILOKHERI, and I, Sanjeev Sharma, welcome all of you here. I had started the chapter, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We All Can Be Together, right? So this is the book you need to carry in your hands. The two parts I have already uploaded, and this is part number 3, students. Up to here, I have taught you the narrator of this chapter. He had emerged on the sea voyage along with his family, with his wife, his kids, and with the help of 2 crewmen. Crewmen I had already depicted in my previous video. Crewmen, the persons, means while going on the sea voyage, these persons can help you out in any of the critical situations, right? So when they started encountering some gigantic gales, the wind started blowing, enormous storm was coming over there. They couldn't find any source in order to do rescue operation over there. They were thinking that it might be stopped. Some changes would be occurred. Yes, the changes occurred, but rather than coming down, it was increased more and more. It's creating a problem for each and everyone. Then where to go, what to do, they could not understand. Christmas passed away, New Year passed away, even then many weeks passed away, many days passed away, but it didn't stop. Now up to 15 meters the waves were going on. Along with the waves, the upper portion of the ship, it was going upwards. Then suddenly it came downwards, and plenty of water was coming, entering in on the deck of the ship. So at that time, even then, the narrator and the captain of the ship, even he did not lose the courage. He tried his level best to make his all efforts in order to do the rescue operation. He wanted to go back to home with his wife and kids safe, right? So what did he do? Let's start it. And so page number 14, the last paragraph, right? Open the page number 14, students. I write down the chapter's name over here. I'm sorry. We are not afraid to die if we can all be together, right? By Gordon, Cook and Allen Ince, right? This is the chapter, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together, by Captain Cook, Gordon Cook and Allen East. The explanation of the story, the summarization and the details of the writers I had already given in my previous video. If you have not gone through, please pay attention to that video and just watch it carefully. So here I'm going to start it, page number 14, the last paragraph. Water everywhere. Now the condition was becoming more and more critical, students. The storm was going everywhere. The wind was blowing. Along with the wind, plenty of water was coming on the surface of the ship. Water. If I look in this direction, in that direction, forward, backwards, anywhere, everywhere, water could be seen. Enormous sea could be seen. The sea water, green water, white colored water, nothing else. I could feel that the ship had water below. Now, sometime I started realizing, as I depicted, along with the waves, the water was entering into the ship. So it started looking that the ship had sunk under the water. The water level was above and the ship was below water. It looked like that. The condition was very bad. He started thinking that his end was near. But I dared not abandon the wheel to investigate. I dared not abandon. Abandon means to stop myself. abandon means to stop, right? Abandon means stop. He didn't stop himself. He did not surrender himself. He did not give up the hopes. till the last breath of his life, he wanted to struggle. He wanted to put his efforts in order to get victory over it. He wanted to do rescue operation, boys. So that's why he did not stop. He did not abandon to investigate the wheel. He was holding the steering. In the previous video yesterday, I told you that he was having some injury in his left ribs. Okay, his teeth were broken, his mouth was filled with blood and some other thing. He was in pain. His daughter, she was injured, but even then he dared not to abandon his investigation. He wanted to do his rescue, but he knew very well that he was in a critical situation. If once he had surrendered, nothing could be done. That's why. So suddenly, boys, please pay attention. Suddenly the front hatch was thrown up and Mary appeared. Hatch means it is the place where kids are kept over there. Okay, especially it is hatch, we are using the word for the children of the birds, right? But here we are depicting, we symbolize it is symbolized for the children's cabin, right? Suddenly the door of the cabin of children, it was opened, and Mary was the wife of the narrator. She appeared, she came before the narrator. We are sinking. Sinking means drowning, dubna. Oh my God, we are sinking. And she screamed. Scream means cried loudly, chillana. Scream. She screamed means she cried. Right? She cried loudly. Oh my God, Gordon, we are sinking. What to do? What not to do? Then the decks are smashed. Decks means the outer boundary. The railing were made of iron. These have been smashed, completely destroyed. Smashed means destroyed. S-M-A-S-H-E-D. Smashed means completely destroyed. Right? These words you have to write down in your notepads, my dear students. Very significant for you. Everything had been destroyed over there completely. We are full of water. Water everywhere. Nothing could be seen except it. Take the wheel, I shouted, but immediately I shouted means the narrator, Gordon Cook, he shouted to his wife, just come here and hold the wheel. As I scrambled for the hatch. Scrambled means I struggled. Scrambled, S-C-R-A-M-B-L-E-D. Scrambled means I struggled myself. Struggled means walking with struggle, right? Walking with struggle. This was the condition because number one, the condition was critical. Number two, he was panic. And number three, moreover, he got an injury, serious injury on his left ribs. Teeth were broken. He was paining, but still he was not losing his courage. Immediately, the narrator, he called his wife and he advised her to hold the steering. And he, by putting a lot of struggle, and then he's scrambling towards the hatch in order to look after the children. What was the condition of his son and his daughter? Clear? Larry and Herb, the two crewmen, boys, I told you, the crewmen, that helpers, C-R-E-W-M-E-N. The crewmen, Larry and Herb, were pumping like madmen. They were just pumping. They were throwing the water with the help of the pumps out of the ship like madmen. They were looking crazy because it was a panic situation. Everybody had to work hard. Otherwise, the things were going on worst. Now, broken timbers. Timbers means the wooden logs. The big wooden logs, like the mast was there made of wood. Okay, jib was there. Everything, they were scattered here, there, everywhere. Okay. Hung at crazy angles. Suppose mast. I told you in the beginning, the wave walker boat, when they had taken at the initial stage, the condition of the mast was just in a single in this way, but now this time condition was coming vertical and it was hanging in a crazy position. Jib was going in this way, some were going in different angle. It means crazy angles they were making. The condition was becoming hodgepodge. The whole starboard side means the corner of the ship, burgled means just like that full 9 Hindi translation. They had been burgled inward, cloths, crockery, charts, tins and toys sloshed about in deep water, means everything, they were floating on the surface of deep water. Some of them they have been drowned, and the rest of all they were floating on the surface of water which was there on the deck of the ship, right? I means the narrator. The narrator half swam, means he was just moving his arms in this way like swimming. Half swimming he was doing, half crawling. Crawling means Hindi translation rengna, with his staggering legs. He was staggering and half swimming. In this position he was moving and reached into the hatch. I told you it's a children's cabin. He went to their children's cabin and asked, "Are you all right, my dear kids?" I asked, means the narrator asked, and he got reply, "Yes." They answered from an upper bunk, B-U-N-K. Bunk means it's a sleeping berth, like berth is in the train. It's like a berth, it's a sleeping place where they had been sleeping in the upper bunk, B-U-N-K, bunk. "Yes, Papa, yes, Daddy, we are okay, we are fine, we are alive." Then, "But my head hurts a bit," said Sue. Sue was the daughter, and she said that, means that my head is spinning, my head hurts a lot, said Sue, pointing to a big bump above her. Bump means like in Hindi translation, cupboard. Okay, there was swelling taken place. Bump means swelling in short. B-U-M-P. B-U-M-P. Bump means swelling. It is just like that, boys. Suppose maybe if you might have got a collision in your life, or you might have seen some person, those are collided to each other. So automatically sometime the serious injury occurred on their forehead and the bump occurs. It is just like swelling. So Sue, the daughter, she got a serious swelling nearby her eyes. But what could be done? It was not the time to pay attention on her injury. Then what happened, boys? I had no time to worry about bumped heads. Means the writer, he himself said that, he means I didn't have the time because I had to do rescue operation. I didn't want to part my concentration. I simply wanted to do the rescue operation. I didn't pay attention towards the injury of my daughter. Okay, I left her alone and just emerged outside. Right. Then after finding a hammer means hathoda. After finding a hammer, screw means, what do you call it, nuts, okay, and canvas, it is like it is made of cloth. With the help of canvas we can make a tent or some other things, like it's like a heavy cloth. Okay, we can utilize it in different position, like sometimes we have to make a canopy, sometimes we have to make a tent. Okay, we are taking it whenever we are going on doing walk in the hilly area, hill station, clear. So at a place where we want to take a rest over there, so we are using canvas. So that canvas he was having, he picks a hammer, some screws and a canvas. Then I struggled back on the deck. Struggle means putting lot of struggle, and he scrambled on the deck once again, and he left his children in the same position in what they were having over there, right? So how critical situation can you imagine? Just imagine whenever if you are having an injury at your home, what is the condition of your parents at that time? But he didn't have the time to pay attention towards his own daughter, and she was having an injury, but he left them alone and came on the deck, right? So with the starboard side bashed upon, bashed means collision, B-A-S-H-E-D, bashed means collision, takrana, right? He was bashed with the starboard side, the outer portion of the ship. We were taking the water, each wave that broke us over, means the waves were coming in continuity. Sometimes he was going in this way, sometimes he was taken by the waves in that way, sometimes his head was striking to the railing, sometimes he was going in a back way, sometimes he was going down way, up way, left way, right way. In all direction he could not control his balance. Again and again he had been fallen down several times into the water because heavy gales were coming, heavy waves were coming, right? Gales and waves, both of them creating a problem for him. Now, so we were taking water with each wave that broke us over. If I couldn't make some repairs, we would surely sink. Even then I cried, immediately I cried. Suppose if something special had not been done on our part, definitely we would be sinking over here. We would sink, definitely, sure and short, nothing would be done over here. We would have to do some rescue operation over it. We must do something at least. Somehow, anyhow, I managed to stretch canvas. Stretch means to open. I managed. Canvas is a very heavy cloth, but even then I could manage to open it anyhow. And after opening and secure waterproof hatch covers across the gaping holes, means I wanted to make it, I wanted to utilize it, a waterproof cloth securing the hatch covers across the gaping holes, means where the holes were there, means the broken pieces of the ship from where the water was entering. I wanted to cover those holes with the help of canvas, right? So some water continued to stream below, but even then some water still it was coming. Even I had managed to cover so many holes, but still some water was managing to come inside. You know very well, it's a solid power. Water is a solid power, clear? So it could not be controlled easily, right? Still the water was entering, but in a low motion, you can say that, very slowly. What water was coming inside, water, and but most of it was now being deflected over the side. But I could manage that. I could be able to deflect. Deflect means turned. DEFLECT. Deflected means turned. I had turned the position, the direction of the water towards the sideboard. Through the sideboard, it should go out into the ocean, right? It should not be stored in our ship anyhow, clear? In short, if you want to get understood by me, that I want to tell you, 70% water he was managing to get it outside, but 30% water still it was entering, clear? Now more problems arose when our head pumps started to block up with the debris floating across the cabins and the electric pump short circuit. Now the problem was increasing more and more when our electric pump, it had been blocked. It had been blocked. Why it was blocked? Because of the debris. Debris means the garbage. Debris means garbage, means kachra. Clear? Debris, lot of debris were there, toys were there, clothes were there, food were there, other things were there, okay, everything had been blocked, the pipe of the pump. This was the main problem, because if pumping could not be done, definitely the ship would be drowned and they would be died on the spot. Now something should be done at least. What did he do? Let's see. We were taking, and moreover the electric pump, it had been short circuit, right? Now pump was out of order, right? The water level rose threateningly, means immediately, tremendously the water level was increasing more and more threateningly. Back on deck, I found that 2 spare hand pumps had been wrenched overboard. Means 2 more hand pumps were there. Wrenched means to tight the screw. Wrenched means to tight the screws, right, overboard, and along with the forestay sail, the jib, the dinghies, and the main anchor. Main anchor, yesterday I told you, it's made of iron in order to control the speed of the ship. The sail, the jib means the pall, mast, and some other things were lying over there. Along with them, the 2 pumps were there. 2 hand pumps, luckily he had got over there. And now what did he do? Then I remembered, we had another electric pump under the chart room. Suddenly the idea struck to my mind, because his mind was moving sharply at that time. I reminded, oh my God, in spare I'm having an extra electric pump, okay, under the chart room floor. I just simply went to there, means the narrator simply went to there and he took the electric pump from there. Then he had connected the pipe to it, to and the out pipe. The pipe which was coming from the outside and the pipe which was coming from inside, and he had connected the pipe, the 2 pipes with each other, okay, in order to start the second spare pump which he was having, right? And was thankful to God. He was very thankful to God to find that it was working. It worked, means the second pump, it had not been blocked. It was not out of order. Thank God it was working. Then I remembered, we The night dragged on with an endless, bitterly cold routine of pumping. Means the cold was increasing. I told you it was the month of January. Okay, and bitter cold was increasing, and steering and working the radio. We had been working, pumping, steering, working on the radio. Means radio, it's like a frequency in order to send the messages to the other ships. But no, nothing would be done because it was a remote area. We were getting no replies to mayday calls. Means during the whole day they had been calling regularly in a continuity in order to have a connectivity to the other ships. But unfortunately, they didn't get any connectivity. They didn't get any source in order to get a reply back from there, right? Which was not surprising, and this was not a surprising thing for them because it usually doesn't work in this remote area. Remote means isolated area. It was completely remote area and it lies in the corner of the world, right? Now, Sue's head, my daughter Sue, she came outside and I had seen the head of my daughter. It had been swollen means swollen, alarmingly, threateningly, it was increasing. The swelling was increasing. She had two enormous black eyes. Means the eyes had been changed into black enormous eyes, heavy black enormous, because of the serious injury she was having. And now she showed us a deep cut on her arm. Now this time she had shown me, Papa, Daddy, I'm having a deep cut in my arm here. She was bleeding badly. Now when I asked why she made more of her injuries before this, she replies, I didn't want to worry you when you were trying to save us all. Means then the narrator, he started asking, Beta, means why didn't you tell me earlier about your injury? Then simply she replied, Daddy, I didn't want to make you worry because I knew that you are going to do your rescue operation in order to protect our lives, our family. That's why I didn't want to divert your concentration. Clear? Then by morning on the January 3rd, the next morning on 3rd January, the pumps had the water level sufficiently under control. Thank God, the second pump, it was working and it had decreased the water level up to sufficient level for us to take 2 hours, and the condition was coming in this way that all of us, me, my wife and the 2 crewmen, 4 people we were there, in rotation everybody started giving the duty in the rotation of 2 hours. Means first of all, suppose I can give my duty, you can take rest, then it's your duty, others can take rest, then others duty, others can take rest. In the rotation everybody started taking the rest for 2 hours approximately, right? But we still had a tremendous leak somewhere below the water line. But still, it was having the leakage tremendously. The water was entering into the ship. From where? Then we started checking. And on checking, I found that nearly all the boats' main rib frames were smashed down. The rib frames were there. Where ribs had been framed, they had been broken. Then water was entering smashly from there down to the keel, means downwards, where the ribs had been stored over there like roots of the trees are there, means the ribs had been broken and the water was entering from that way. In fact, there was nothing holding up a whole section of the starboard hull except a few cupboard partitions. Means except a few cupboard partitions were there inside. It was not possible for us to holding the whole starboard. Means that we were holding a little bit portion of the ship rather than holding the entire ship. We had left the lower portion and we were just taking care of the front portion, and we were taking care about the water. It should not be entered from anywhere, right? We had survived for 15 hours since the wave hit. Means in continuity for 15 hours we had been working over there. The waves were striking in continuity to the ship. But Wave Walker is the name of the boat I told you. Our boat, Wave Walker, it couldn't hold together long enough for us to reach Australia. Australia was just quite near to us, but it didn't have any sufficient power that it could take us towards Australia. I checked our charts. Again, I opened my charts and started studying it and calculated as per my experience that there were 2 islands were there. 2 small islands I had found at a distance of few hundred kilometers to the east direction. In this east direction, at a few hundred kilometers, maybe 200, 300 kilometers distance, I can find out some 2 islands, right? but only hope was to reach these pinpricks in the vast ocean. Pinpricks, I told you in the previous video what is the meaning of pinpricks. Pinpricks, bachon, these are just like two dots, two small dots in a big ocean, right? For example, imagine this is a big ship, okay, and if I put the two dots in this way, what is the value of these two dots in the vast ocean? So these were like pinpricks. These two islands were looking like the pinpricks, the dots given by a small needle. Needle means sui. These are given pinpricks given by the needles. So what is the value of these two islands in the vast ocean? But we were trying our level best to reach at the two islands over there, right? Then, but unless the wind and seas abated, so we could hoist our sail. Unless or until the waves were stopped over there, jab tak hawai nahi rukti, we could not be able to move expectedly to that way. Our chances would be slim indeed. Our chances were very meager, very low chances were there that we could be able to protect our lives. The great wave had put our auxiliary engine out of action. Means the great wave walker, our auxiliary engine, the main engine, sorry, the helping engine was there. It was out of order. It could not work over there, right? So, I'm sorry. So, on January 4, after 36 hours of continuous pumping, now 36 hours had been passed away, students. We reached at the last few centimeters of water. Now the water level was decreased up to centimeters only. Okay. Now we had only the keep pace with the water still coming in. Means that we have to make a understanding with the water which was coming inside. We could not set any sail on the main mast. Means the main mast, the main pole which was there in the vertical position, clear? We could not cover it with any jib, with any canvas. It is just like that, students. Practically I want to tell you. For example, this is the ship, right? And it is the mast. And the wind is blowing from here. If I apply any canvas on the mast, the pressure of the air, it will push the ship towards the direction. In this way, right? We didn't have any cloth, we didn't have any jib and something, because everything had been smashed over there. How to protect the wave walker, how to move it, because engines were not working properly. Then we could not set any sail on the mast. Pressure on the rigging would simply pull the damaged section of the hull apart. So we hoisted. Mary found some corned beef and cracker biscuits, and we ate our first meal in almost 2 days. Means that we hoisted the storm jib. But the storm jib which we were having, anyhow, it was in any of the condition, we were hoisting it, and I thought that the two islands were be found. Maybe it was like a practice try from my side. After some time, Mary, my wife, she found some corned beef. Corn means makai in Hindi. Beef, which I don't want to speak, it's flesh of cow, gaye ka mas, and she brought some beef, corned beef, and some cracker biscuits, right? And they had taken their breakfast in almost 2 days, you can say that, right? So up to here it's sufficient. I think students, you might have got each and everything. So these are the word spelling which I have written on the board. Please note it down in your notepads. Clear? I hope that you have enjoyed it. In the next video I will finish the chapter, the last portion will be there. So till the next video, it's goodbye from my side. Have a nice day. Thank you so much. Namaskar.